Hey everyone, this is the Myers fan back with another video, and as of the time of this recording, I just got done watching Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, and I like it. You guys know that, it's no secret. You know that I like 1 through 8, that's no secret. But as I've gotten older, I understand why some of the modern fans don't like it. Like, even though I like it and I think it's a lot better than the shit we got today, I can understand why they don't like it. After really sitting down and putting my fanboy attitude aside, I understand why you guys don't like it. With that being said, I thought I would make a video about how I would fix Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. For one thing, I would start with that ugly ass mask. That thing looks like shit. I would try to get it to look as close to the original as possible. If there are copyright issues, I would try to work around it and make it look just enough like it, but to the point where they couldn't get in any trouble. So that's the first thing I would do. Secondly, I would ask Alan Howarth, the film composer, to lean more heavily into the Halloween score. One issue that I had with this film is that the Halloween score was too light. He didn't emphasize it as much as he should have. The one thing that made John Carpenter's Halloween what it was the score. And even though the version from part 2 sucked because I didn't like the organ, at least it was still there. Whereas in Halloween 4, it was practically nowhere to be found. So the second thing I would fix is the score. And I would tell Alan Howarth, I want you to lay on that Halloween soundtrack. And I mean lay it on thick. Not make it overwhelming to the point where it's annoying, but just do it enough to where you know you're watching Halloween. And that way you get that Halloween feeling and that Halloween vibe. So far, those are the two issues I would fix with it. The mask and the score, they need to be fixed immediately. Let's talk about the plot. I don't really have a problem with the plot, but it does have minor issues. For one thing, like the fans always say, why the fuck would Laurie just leave her daughter? It just doesn't make any sense. See, I had to put my fandom aside and use logic, and that's not logical. She just left her daughter there, even though she was terrified of Michael. And some of you will say, well, she saw him burn. Yes, that's true. But if you remember the way Laurie was, she is the kind of person that would have suspicions that Michael might still be alive. So she seems like somebody that would move with caution. Even Deborah Hill said that Laurie likes it safe. She likes a safe environment. And in the words of Deborah Hill, ironically, Laurie wasn't safe. So with us knowing the kind of person she was, she would say, wait, this guy might still be alive somehow, and he might try and come after me again. So with that being said, she wouldn't leave her daughter in Haddonfield. It just didn't make any sense. The last thing I want to talk about regarding the plot is the whole 10th anniversary angle, right? It's been 10 years. He started in 1978. My problem with that is that when you look at the first Halloween, Laurie, Linda, and Annie all appear to be very close. They really seem like they care about each other. One thing that Deborah Hill said is that she wanted them to seem like they were real girlfriends, and I have to admit, she nailed it. They really looked like they were friends in real life. Like, these three girls looked like they were really best friends. So with that being said, you would think that with them being killed like that, two of them being killed, of course, I mean Linda Vanderclock and Annie Brackett, you would think that the town would care that they were killed. I'm not saying that you have to mention it every 5 minutes, but I just thought it was weird how the writers just glossed over it like it never fucking happened. This guy murdered 16 people and the writers just act like it's nothing. He killed 16 people. Even that alone would be something that a town would commemorate. And they just brush right over it. That's the one thing that I've never understood about this series. They just brush right over John's work. He killed 16 fucking people and they act like it's nothing. No commemoration for their deaths, no mention of them, no nothing. 16 people were murdered. And you would never even know it. I never understood that about this series. They just brushed right over the shit. Like it didn't even happen. So what I would do is, on the 10th anniversary, I would at the very least have them mention it, mention the girls' names, and how the original massacre and the quote-unquote night that he came home affected the town. And I would have the parents get together with the mob to try and go kill this motherfucker. That's what I would do. That's what normal people would do. You know, some will say, well, what if Linda's parents moved away? Okay, well, they should have said that. But as far as we know, they're probably still there, I'm assuming. So why didn't Linda's parents get together with the townspeople to go in and fuck Michael up? You know, that's another issue that I would fix. And here's another thing. Sheriff Brackett, played by Charles Cyphers. Now, they said he retired in 1981 and he moved to St. Petersburg. I'm assuming they mean St. Petersburg, Florida, and not St. Petersburg in Russia. But anyway, what I would have done regarding him, just like Linda, Sheriff Brackett would want revenge. So what I would have done is, yeah, you would have still had Sheriff Meeker, don't get me wrong. But Sheriff Brackett would have come maybe towards the end of the movie, or maybe the late, middle, early end of the movie, and maybe he would have had an argument with Dr. Loomis, and they're arguing about how it's Loomis's fault that Michael killed his daughter. And they're arguing and arguing and arguing. And then towards the end of the movie, as Michael's about to kill Loomis, or maybe Michael's about to kill Jamie Lloyd, Brackett intervenes and tries to stop Michael, and maybe he takes the knife for Jamie or either Loomis, and he dies. And as he's dying, he could basically tell Brackett, you were right. I see that you didn't let him out on purpose. I see that he's just purely and simply evil. You were right all along. And maybe Brackett can give Loomis his gun and say, go get that son of a bitch. Or maybe Brackett can shoot Michael one last time and say, this is for my daughter, you son of a bitch. They should have done that. Or something similar to that. But once again, they just glossed over it like it was nothing. I thought they should have honored John Carpenter's Halloween a little bit better than they did. I just don't understand why they brushed right past it. But anyway, guys, that's basically it. Other than that, I like the movie, but like I said, if it were me, I would just fix those minor issues. I would fix the mask and make it look like the one from the original. I would have some kind of commemoration for the 10th anniversary of the murders and have them acknowledge it and how it's changed the town. And then last but not least, I would have Sheriff Brackett come back to avenge his daughter, and he would get killed trying to avenge his daughter. And it's almost like they're reunited in death. And maybe he could say some shit like, Annie, I'm coming, honey, or some shit like that. I don't know. But anyway, guys, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you would do. Do you have any issues with Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers? Let me know, guys. Thank you for listening. I'm the Michael Myers fanatic. I know it's been a while, and I approve this message. Please be sure to follow me on all forms of social media at the Myers Fan 25 and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an upload. Thank you for watching.